Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. On Monday it's going to be Valentine's Day and I'm going to make the Valentine's card for my husband right now. I really like sort of white on white and very simple, elegant cards. I make all sorts of things for different people, but this is my kind of style. So I'm using this Always in My Heart set. It's in the annual catalogue, but I think it was from last year's mini catalogue, the January one. And let me just, I know I've got the dies. I'm going to use the dies that go with them. And this is a big set of dies. You get the hearts, you get lots of floral images, you get 2 of each of the little flowers so that you can cut out just a little bit quicker. And then one of my favourite pieces that you get is this piece. And this makes the banner. And because it has these little lines on, the banner will fold. So it's not just a flat banner. I love that piece. I've used it so many times. And this piece as well, where you can cut out the little hearts. I made some gift tags with that down the side. I've put it on the inside of cards. Let me just find the page, 74. Let me find the page that it goes with, just to show you. Okay, so here it is with all the stamps. When it's in this paler colour here, it shows you that there's a matching die, and that's the die that goes with those stamps. So this I absolutely love. And this is that little banner one. And there are not too many examples in here. But can you see how on here they've used that long die with all the little hearts? That's the one that I really do use that a lot. I'll put maybe a red card underneath with this over the top so you can just see the hearts through it. But I save these little hearts and I use them in my shaker cards for confetti. So let me show you what I'm going to create. It is going to be a white on white card because that is truly one of my favourite looks. So I've got a base and I've got just the thick basic white, and this time I've cut it this way. So I've got it cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. And I have already pre-embossed a piece that's going to go on the top. And if you check on my blog, I'll have all the sizings there, so don't worry about missing a size or anything. I've put it through this time-worn type embossing folder, and it's a little bit tricky to see. Let me just put another colour in there. It's a little bit tricky to see what it's like. And can you see it's got some words that you can make out, but most of it is just sort of jumbled or missing with this little pattern. And when you actually emboss it, this is how it comes out. And it's not really so much about the words, it's more about the pattern that it makes. So I've already embossed that and popped that little piece back. And what I need to do now is to make some of my flowers. And I've got this one and this one, these two match together. So this is going to stamp my outline and this is going to stamp the inner part. And this leaf. You could choose any of these flowers, but I just love these ones. And I've chosen a pink, but I've chosen Flirty Flamingo, which maybe isn't sort of your first go-to for a pink for Valentine's, but I love the colour of this one. So, and I'm only going to use one colour. I want it to have 2 separate colours to it, but I only need one ink pad. Oh, I don't want that piece, that's a thicker piece. I'm just going to get a slightly larger piece. Okay, so here's the outline one, and I'm going to stamp, I only need 2, so I'm just going to stamp my outline twice in the Flirty Flamingo, and then I'm going to use the little cloud shaped piece that goes on the inside. And before I start to stamp with it, I'm just going to work out which way it needs to go, and it is that way. So because I want it to look like a paler pink, I'm just going to stamp off, and then I just need to move this down a little bit. And can you see how it looks like I've used 2 colours of ink, but really I haven't. I'm going to just do the same again. Move this down so that I can see it. Okay, now a little bit of it hasn't stamped here, and that's fine. I could put it back on and make sure that came out, but really that will look just as pretty. And that's all I need for the pink. And my next one, I'm going to do the leaves exactly the same way. I only want 2 leaves, so I've chosen this one, and I've got the matching piece. I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz, which is quite a lighter green, but it's just the right colour for this. So I'm just going to do the outline twice, exactly the same as I did for the flower. And then that's going to go that way. So I'm going to ink it up, stamp it off, and then stamp right in the middle. And that will give me that same look, so that you have a lighter green with a darker outline. And there's actually very little stamping on this card. There we go. So there's my 2 leaves and my 2 flowers. The only other thing I need to stamp is my sentiment. And I'll move this out of the way because I have already pre-cut my banner piece with the die. I'm just going to fold it a little bit just so that I can see, oops, that's a little bit bent, there we go, just so that I can see where my sentiment needs to lay. And I've got that on my block. I've got it saying "Be My Valentine." This would be just as pretty as for an anniversary card too, because one of the sentiments on here is "Happy Anniversary," so that would look really nice too. Okay, and then I'm using basic grey. I don't want anything quite as harsh as black. I still want to be able to see the sentiment and the writing, but I don't want to use black. I'm just going to lay this on here. I'm going to get my bone folder in a minute and score that a little bit better. And I have it so that the rounded part is at the top left. So this goes this way. I don't know if it's the right way or the wrong way, but it's the way that works for me. I'm just going to stamp that in the middle. And see how the grey it's not as strong, but it looks really pretty. Now, excuse my reach while I just find the bone folder. Oh, there we go. Then I'm going to fold these pieces. I want to fold over, and I'm going to go over it with my bone folder just to make it nice and straight. And then there's a second line there. I want that one to fold back. I'm going to turn it over and just go over that with my bone folder. And you get that like little ribbon concertina Z, and that's what you're looking for. And the same on this side. And then we'll fold that one backwards. Okay, so that's our stamping done. We've already got our embossed piece. The next thing we need to do is to cut these out. And I have already pre-cut them, but I will show you how I did it. Because I'm only doing 2 flowers, I can actually put these through all at the same time. There are 2 leaves and 2 flowers and 2 of each of the dies. So I would just pop them all on here. You can cut them out, oops, one at a time if you want, but it's just a time saver having 2 the same. And then you find the little floral ones that go with it. And you can attach these with a little piece of washi tape or a post-it note and run all of them through at the same time. Oops. Let's pop that one straight. There we go. Okay, so I would just put that through my cut and emboss machine. It actually fits on the mini one as well, because that's how I cut it out earlier. Pop those back. So then when you've got those, you'll have 2 little flowers and you will have 2 little leaves. So we've got our leaves, we've got our sentiment. Pop this one out of the way again. We've got our embossed layer. The only other piece we need is the heart. And I've just cut this in basic white. And it's this one big piece. And you can see it also cuts out the heart shape. And this is really nice with the stamp set if you're wanting to put this piece in, because where it's black here, that's the colour of the ink. Whatever ink you choose, that's what colour that heart will be. And it cuts out so perfectly, and you can take it and then just add it back in. But it's also really nice just with these sentiments on. You don't have to have it in a colour. Just with the sentiments on the white looks really pretty. But for my card, I'm not going to use it. So I've got my heart. It does have lots of little pieces in, so I had to sit for a moment or two with my pokey tool, just poke those bits out again. And it's a really fast card to put together. So I've got my embossed piece, and it's 1/4 inch narrower all around than my base. So that's going to give me just a little bit of added texture, just an extra little bit. Let me make sure I've got my words upside down there. Now they're not. I'm just going to put this white on white. And that already gives you lots of extra texture. Then I'm going to add my little floral heart. You could, if you wanted, put one of the double-sided adhesive stickers on the back. You know, the little adhesive stickers that Stampin' Up sell, and then put it through your cut and emboss machine. And it ends up so that it's almost like a label or a sticker. You only have to peel the backing off, and it's sticky everywhere. And it's really good for sort of these intricate dies. But for today, I'm just using glue. I'm not worried if every piece doesn't stick down. So I'm putting it on all the wider little pieces where I can see there's enough room just for a little dab of glue. So it's a little bit time consuming, but worth it in the end. We're nearly there. Okay, and I'm going to put that right in the middle. And I like how you can see the embossed piece through the heart as well. But if you wanted, you could certainly put the little heart back in. You could just glue that back in and have it plain. I just like that look. And can you see some of these little pieces aren't stuck down, but because the majority of it is stuck down, it doesn't matter. And so there are a few little bits that are sticking up. And I think that looks quite nice. It adds a little texture to it as well. So next we need our flowers. And I'm only going to put sort of a leaf and a flower at each side. And I want one of my flowers to be up here with my leaf behind, and one of them sort of to match over this side. And then my little sentiment is just going to go across the middle. I'm not gluing those flowers down until I see where the sentiment's going to be, because I don't want it to stick over the sentiment. Now, if you're not mailing this, you can put dimensionals underneath and have that so that it sticks up a little bit. If you are mailing it, you can always just glue this down flat. Sometimes I find if my card is just more than one dimensional thick, and because I've got 2 layers here as well, if it's thicker than that, then I'll have to pay extra mailing on it. So this is not going to be mailed, so I'm going to put dimensionals underneath it when I see where I've hidden them. Here they go. I'm not going to put it on the little, like the fork tongue pieces. I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on that. But certainly on these underneath pieces. Oh, just a minute. I might not actually need them. Let's just see. Let's just take them off and see. Because I'm not mailing it, I could probably put them on those pieces and raise it up even higher. And because I haven't squashed these down really, they're going to come off quite easily. If you do find that they stick and you can't get them off, you can use dental floss and it will bring it off. I've got just a little bit stuck on there now, and I'm going to use just my glue eraser. Nobody will see it, but I know it's there. I'll just take off that little bit of adhesive. There we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's going to be nice because that's going to lift that right up. I like that. And I want it to be on an angle. I don't want it to be sort of straight across. I just want it to go a little bit of an angle like this. And now I can attach my flowers and my leaves. I'm going to glue my leaves straight down. Just over here. I want it to be just about at the side where the sentiment is. And these little flowers, you could put them up on a dimensional if you wanted. I'm going to glue mine down flat. I want to be able to see them. So I don't want them hiding behind that banner. Pop the other one down here. And the same with this little flower. I just want this one to be down flat. Just under here. Oh, my glue's still wet, so I can move those around a little bit. There we go. There we are. That's how I want it. Okay. And that is all I'm going to do to the outside. I have some of these spare flowers, so I'm going to pop one inside just to make it match. You could do the same on your envelope as well. Pop it on the inside just to give you a little bit extra. It would make a really pretty birthday card too. Now I'll just show you it with that little white piece put back in. As I said, I do like that embossed look, but if you wanted to put the little plain piece back in, obviously your flower would fit over the top, but that looks pretty as well. So there you are. That's my quite fast Valentine's card, but I love this white on white, and I always think it just looks elegant. So there we are. That's my card for today. I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day on Monday, and that you get to make a card for somebody you love as well. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all again really soon. Bye-bye.